Hey. So tonight, it's about 11:30 p.m., but tonight I am here to talk to you a bit about this new concept that I've been thinking quite a while about, but I've termed it just now over dinner with some friends. But it is this concept of positive pressure. Now, what do I mean by positive pressure? Well, positive pressure is different from the general pressures that we experience in our everyday lives, in that positive pressure is something that we invite. It's a challenge that we invite into our lives in order to grow, in order to stretch, in order to become a better version of ourselves. Now, just to kind of share an anecdote with you, you guys know me as giving workshops and on personal development, professional development, purpose discovery. But the first workshop I ever gave was while I was in college. My first year of college, I was 18, and it was on investing in other areas of financial literacy. And the scenario, the backstory behind it, and I'll be quick, is learned a lot about it during high school, was very preachy about it in college, and one day a professor came up to me and said, "Hey, you're always talking about investing and growing wealth. How about you start doing workshops and presentations on it? I'm happy to connect you with a facilitator who can make a classroom available for you." I instantly wanted to say no, but I invited that positive pressure into my life and said yes, with no workshop ready, no presentation ready, but within the next 2 weeks I created one, and I was able to provide my first workshops, right, and build that confidence. And for the first time, I was a speaker. We created advertisements, and my self-confidence grew. And who knew, some years later, it would lay the foundation of what I'm doing now. Now, another example of that was just recently. I gave a presentation on finding and discovering your purpose, my latest workshop. Similarly, with this one, when I was invited to Brew College to present it, I didn't have all the pieces together, I'll admit. I had the concept there, I had a skeleton of the PowerPoint, but it wasn't ready, and I had a trip to Montreal the day after I got the invitation. And more specifically, the presentation was the day that I got back. So basically I was in a crunch. Now, technically, when I think about it in hindsight, and hindsight is 2020, I could have pushed that presentation day back, and I'm kind of crazy, but I decided to go with the date that they gave me at first because I wanted to put that positive pressure on myself, right? I wanted to see what it feels like to, get that call randomly and say, "Hey, Troy," like I'm putting myself in the future, right? "Hey, Troy, we know you're the best in the business to do X, Y, and Z. Could you do something for us tomorrow, right? Could you give a talk tomorrow?" So I wanted to play that scenario in my head. So what ended up happening while I was in Montreal for 4 days, I ended up, I took my laptop and I was working in between, my day trip to Quebec City, in between flights. And luckily I was able to give my presentation without a hitch, and it went well. But again, I introduced the idea of positive pressure into my life. And in both those instances, the financial literacy presentation as well as my latest presentation, I was able to grow. I was able to stretch. I was able to invite more self-confidence and certainty into my life. So there is some benefit of pressure, specifically positive pressure, because again, you're in full control over what you allow and what you don't allow. And what you get out of it, right, the ROI, is greater self-confidence, greater certainty, knowing that you got the stuff to make it happen. So my, question for you is, are you inviting positive pressure into your life, or are you running away from it? And if not, how can you begin to introduce positive pressure to your personal life, to your professional life, to your relationships, right? How can you introduce those pressures and grow and stretch as a human being, as a professional? So again, that's my thought. I think it's almost 12 o'clock, going on 12 o'clock now, 12 p.m. or a.m., I'm sorry, but nonetheless wanted to get that thought out before I go to sleep tonight. So hopefully it brings you value. I'm going to get some rest, then wake up and go back to work. But again, have a great night, and hope you got some value out of it. Peace.